Hi guys, and welcome to the Batch Lady, where this is module 3 of my batch cooking course. Module 3, where we are talking about double bubble, okay? I absolutely love double bubble, and I'm going to get into exactly what it is in a minute. So basically, it's really simple. If you want to get into batch cooking, you don't know where to start, you're a bit frightened about the sort of like 10 meals in an hour and you're thinking, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, the best thing that you can do is just start really simply. And that is have a look at the meals that you eat every week. What are the general meals you eat? So for example, my family, it would be kedgeree, fish pie, fajitas, maybe enchiladas, you know, something like that. And I know that the kids eat it, love it, I make it all the time, okay? So they're the meals that I want to, every time I make them, I want to double up, okay? So I want to, as I'm sitting there on a Tuesday night thinking, right, I'm going to make supper and I'm going to make enchiladas. I'm just going to double that recipe so that I have one for tonight and I have one that goes in the freezer. That is how simple getting started with batching is, okay? That is actually just batching. You've just batched it. One of them I'm going to put in the freezer, one I'm going to feed the kids. Now, what that means is that you have just given yourself a night off. It probably took you about 5 minutes more to double that recipe. You know, so when you went shopping for the ingredients, you had to think, oh, I'm going to double it, so I will buy extra ingredients. When you're making it, you have to put double the amount in, so it'll take a couple of minutes more to cook, say, the mince to brown or something like that. But it is a minuscule amount of time compared to having one whole night off. One whole night when you know that you're going to be busy, you can walk in, grab this, put it in the oven, come back 40 minutes later, and your meal is ready and cooked. I mean, that is the nights that you want, those prime sort of, you were good to yourself, your future self, and you now have this amazing meal just ready to go. If you want to get into doubling up, you have to think about it in advance, okay? So on my, if you've ever seen my little meal planner book, I actually show you when you're working out your meal plan, and you can do this on a piece of paper, you can use the book, you can do it any way you want, and it says, what are you cooking? It gives you the option, do you want to double it up? So that you can actually plan it in advance. So what I tend to do is I tend to have nights that I know I've got time to double, okay? So I know, for example, on a Tuesday night, I'm home at a decent time from work, I don't have to take the kids anywhere else. I know on a Tuesday night, whatever I'm going to cook, I'm going to double it. I know also that on a Thursday night is a really busy night for us, where there's just, it's manic and there's lots on. That's a night that I know that I don't want to cook. So already I've got one night that I know I want to double and one night I know that I don't want to cook. That's a great way to start your meal planning in terms of doubling up, okay? So that you just go into the week ahead knowing what you are going to double and on what night, and the nights that you don't want to cook. Now, when you first start doing this, you're not going to have much in your freezer probably, okay? Because you haven't really started batching. So what you might want to do is have the first 2 weeks that every time you double up, you put the recipe, you put one in the freezer and you don't use it. You just keep doubling up and you'll just end up stocking up your freezer so that you've got lots of meals to choose from. Then you can have one night of doubling up, one night of not cooking, one night of doubling up, one night of not cooking, okay? It will save you so much time. It actually also sometimes saves you money, because you can sometimes eke them out to be double and not have to use quite the same amount of ingredients. Does that make sense? So for example, you know, if the recipe called for half a pepper, well, you're going to buy a whole pepper. So if you're doubling it up, you're just using that what would be wasted pepper, that type of thing. So it can sometimes work out cheaper and easier as well. So I love double bubble. What you can then go on and do, if you want to, is sometimes I'll do it times 3 for the ones that I know that we eat all the time. So if I'm making fajitas, I always make 1 for tonight, 2 for the freezer, okay? If I'm making a skillet, which requires quite a lot of ingredients, it's a bit messy to do, I want to just make 3 of them at one time, okay? But I wouldn't suggest going any more than that because you don't want to have stuff in the freezer that you feel like you're eating over and over again. So I would stick with either doubling or tripling, okay? All you need to do is work out your recipe. All the recipes in the Batch Lady are for 4 people. So if you're a family of 4 or 5, because they'll generally do between 4 and 5, then you're absolutely fine. If you're a family or a couple of just 2 of you, you can just take the 1 recipe and it's automatically doubled. You don't even have to think about it because your 1 recipe feeds 4. So all you're doing is halving that recipe, half for tonight and half in your freezer. Double bubble, my favorite friend. Why not give it a go this week? Choose a night and just see how easy it is to do and feel great when you put that meal in the freezer. Double bubble, give it a go.